and welcome to More Time in the Kitchen. So in this video, I've got something a bit special for you. I'm going to be doing a taste comparison test of the most controversial sausage roll of 2019. So the sausage roll in question is this. This is the vegan sausage roll released by Greggs Bakery. Now for those of you watching who don't live in the UK, Greggs is a high street bakery, very popular here. It tends to populate the streets the same way that a Starbucks does. There's one round every corner pretty much. Now this actually isn't the first time that Greggs have sparked controversy over what you would think is a fairly non-inflammatory baked good. But back in 2017 they released an advert for Christmas which portrayed the sausage roll as the baby Jesus in a nativity scene. And this got some backlash from some religious groups and Christians as it was seen as being blasphemous. And I'm not religious myself, but I can kind of see where people might get a bit offended if their religious figure is presented as a sausage roll or another food item. But I think things have gotten blown out of proportion. I think Greggs were just trying to have a little bit of fun around the festive period. But this time, controversy has been sparked again over this vegan sausage roll. I think on this occasion they're more on the correct side of the, political correctness and inclusivity. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about the controversy later, but I think I better try these before they get any colder. Now I shouldn't have to point out here that I'm obviously not vegan or doing Veganuary, as I've got the classic sausage roll here as a taste comparison, so I think I'm fairly well placed to do a comparison there. So the first thing you'll obviously notice is that they look a bit different, and I have to say I was pleased about that, because as I was going in I thought, oh god, what if I buy them both and then can't tell them apart? So obviously the pastry is going to be different. Because you're going to have non-vegan ingredients in the classic one. You might have some butter in there, possibly egg, I don't know, I've not looked at an ingredients list. And the vegan one's probably going to have to be made with some sort of vegetable oil to replace the fat. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the texture and all that. Right, so let's have a quick taste of the classic one. Yeah, not much of a reaction to that. It's a standard sausage roll. The pastry is nice and flaky. The sausage meat tastes like sausage meat. Yeah, it's a bog standard sausage roll. Nothing wrong with that. Right, let's have a sip of tea to cleanse my palate. I've still got their Christmas cups in. And now for a bite of the most controversial thing I've ever put in my mouth, I think. That really tastes like sausage meat. It really does. If somebody told me that that was sausage meat, I would not question it. The pastry is really nice as well. It's still quite flaky. It is a bit harder than the classic pastry. Have a taste, another taste. It tastes a little bit like stuffing, but stuffing made with sausage. Yeah, I'd almost be willing to say that that's better than the classic sausage roll. I'm just going to go back for another taste. Yeah, I think it's kind of a lighter flavour and it's more herby, which is why it tastes more like stuffing. But yeah, I mean, if you're someone who likes stuffing with your Christmas dinner, then you're gonna enjoy this. It's basically like stuffing wrapped in pastry. Yeah, you know, I'd be tempted to say that I prefer that over the classic sausage roll, just because there's a bit more depth of flavour to it. So yeah, I really enjoy that. I guess a thumbs up from me, absolutely. But yeah, you know, try it yourself. And if you have tried it, let me know what you think in the comments as well. So I finished both of the sausage rolls, decided to do a taste test as opposed to a mukbang because it's probably not the most interesting thing for somebody to watch me eat. So if you're wondering how a vegan sausage roll could possibly spark so much controversy, firstly, congratulations on being a rationally minded adult, but I'm here to explain what happened. So it all kicked off when Greggs announced on Twitter that today they would be releasing their vegan sausage roll. And it got quite a lot of negative comments. Now, the one reason that I can think that, you know, some people might have a genuine reason to be upset by more vegan products becoming available, and so the release of this vegan sausage roll, would be if, you know, they were involved in the trade of meat, so whether they're farmers or just involved in the, you know, the retail of meat products. Because it could affect their livelihood if people are buying more vegan products or vegetarian products. It's going to affect their livelihood. So that's, you know, I think that's fair enough that those people would be upset. But that doesn't seem to be the reason why people are getting annoyed on Twitter. Nobody's out there saying, oh, what about pig farmers? You know, people are, as far as I can tell, just getting angry for the sake of getting angry, as people do on social media. Because believe it or not, vegans are not simply vegan to annoy people. People are vegan because, you know, they do it for health reasons, or they do it for the environment, or they do it for animal welfare. So as I've said, I'm not vegan, and I'm also not doing Veganuary, and I have my reasons for that, which I won't get into. But I'm happy for vegan products to be available. Like, why wouldn't you be? You know, not only for vegans, because I think vegans should be able to go into the supermarket or restaurants or fast food chains and get the same convenience that meat eaters do, but also because I sometimes like to eat vegan food or vegetarian food, and you know, that's partly like for health reasons, because I try not to eat too much red meat. But also just because I like a bit of variety and it's something different. You know, I love food, that's why I have a food channel here on YouTube, and you know, variety is the spice of life. And if I go into a restaurant and I see something on the menu that is vegan and it's either the most tasty sounding thing on the menu, or it's interesting, or I feel like it, then I'm going to go for that. If a meat-based product is on the menu and I prefer that, I'll go for that. So that's, you know, that's one of the reasons that I'm also not a vegan, because I like having that variety available. Anyway, that's enough of my own opinion. Let's get back to Twitter and Greggs. So in response to some of the negative comments that have been given on Twitter, Greggs have given some pretty decent clapback. Now, it's not quite as sassy as Wendy's, but there's been some pretty entertaining back and forth on Twitter. So let's have a look at what people have been saying. So I Have the Flu says, a sausage roll is a sausage roll. This is not a sausage roll. And Greg says back, you're right, it's a vegan sausage roll. Classic sausage rolls still available. So again, back to my point, like, no one's forcing you to eat vegan sausage rolls. They're just there. John Parkinson says, I'd rather eat my own earwax. And Greg says, you do you, John. What else have we got? Badger says, it's not f***ing sausage then, is it, you fucking whoppers? Bloody vegans clogging up oven space for the real thing. And Greg says back, we've got plenty of oven space. Don't worry. I'm sure they do. Now, someone else who has jumped into the conversation is Piers Morgan. Now again, for those of you who don't live in the UK, and are fortunately unaware of the existence of Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is a celebrity bigot. He co-hosts a British breakfast show and has said some pretty nasty things about certain groups in the past. He has said negative things about women, particularly female celebrities. He's said negative things about the LGBT community and what else? He's said some nasty stuff about people coming out about mental health. So he's generally quite an unpleasant person. So he's chimed in by saying, nobody was waiting for vegan bloody sausage, you PC ravaged clowns. So he's wrong there. There's actually been a lot of people waiting for this vegan sausage roll from Greggs. It has been in the works for a long time. There's been rumours about it for a couple of years. And it started with a petition by PETA. Now, I'm not a fan of PETA. Again, not getting into that in this video. But I certainly have my reasons. But, thousands of people voted for Greggs to have a vegan sausage roll. So, sorry Piers, but you're absolutely wrong there. And Greggs have come back with, oh hello Piers, we've been expecting you. So, I don't know how much I like that comment because it kind of makes him sound like a Bond villain, which would then make Piers the hero. So, not sure on that one, but anyway, I think the social media manager of Greggs, or whoever's posted those tweets, deserves a round of applause, and I think Greggs deserve a round of applause as well for creating a really delicious vegan sausage roll. I think they've done really well. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments about the vegan sausage roll. Have you tried it? Did you like it? And also, what are your thoughts on vegan products becoming more available in the UK or around the world? Are you for it? Are you against it? And if you're against it, why? So as always, thanks very much for watching. If you liked it, give us a like, give us a comment and subscribe for more content like this in the future. And if you'd like me to try any more weird or wonderful foodstuffs in the future, then let me know in the comments. Hopefully they won't be as controversial, but who knows what's going to come out in 2019. We might get something more controversial than a vegan sausage roll. Anyway, till then, cheery bye! It tastes a little bit like stuffing, but sauce.